Welcome back to our WordPress penetration testing and security course. My name is Chandan Ghodela, and in this lesson, we are going to focus on hardening WordPress installation. So this involves that implementing additional security measures to protect your site from attacks. So basically, WordPress security hardening goes beyond the basics and includes the practices that make your site more that's safer to the attack. So we'll cover essential techniques and strategies you can implement to significantly enhance your site security. So there are three main components of WordPress that are that important from that a security perspective. The first one is core. So the core is the basic default WordPress installation file that provides most of the functionalities. The second one is plugins. So it's an additional code to improve and extend the basic functionalities. And third one is the theme, which is the presentation layer that may offer some limited extended functionalities. So let's discuss by one. So first of all, that secure configuration of WordPress core. So let's start with disable directory browsing. So we have to add a line in .htaccess file, which is option hyphen index. Now what is .htaccess? So htaccess, it's a short form of that hypertext access, and it's a configuration file which used by Apache based server. So it's like initial settings or program that in our case. So that's mean that htaccess have that multiple configurations which we that apply or set for multiple that protocols that like directory indexing is blocked, or is there any specific that page or directory is blocked or restrict or not. It's a redirect to http to https. So there are multiple configuration we can add in .htaccess file. So to disable the directory browsing, we have to add that option hyphen index in our .htaccess file. Now we can add that multiple sensitive files as well, like as we like shown in that in penetration testing that video, that readme.html, license.txt, that install.php. So these files are like we can restrict in that web browser. So we have to add these code in .htaccess file. Now we have to set that proper file permissions as well to ensure that directory have that 755 permission and then file have that 644 permissions. So that's mean that normal user don't have any that root permission to edit and all things. Now let's for that hide WordPress version. So to remove the WordPress version that number from that your site source code by adding that following code in functions.php file, which is remove action, wp head and wp generator. So by helping this code in functions.php, so you can find that functions.php in that theme folder, and you can add this line to remove that WordPress version. So attacker can't predict that which version you are using right now, so he or she like not able to find actual exploit as per your WordPress version. Now that protecting that wp-config.php file, so again we have to add in that .htaccess file to restrict in via that web browser. Now that for configuring that secure authentication keys, so WordPress uses a set of secret keys for that authentication. We know in C and in WP that config.php file, which generates strong unique keys with that WordPress secret keys service set. So you can use that api.wordpress.org secret hyphen key 1.1 salt, where you can see that defined that auth key, secret auth key, logged in key, nonce key, auth salt, and so on. So you can just copy and paste into the wp config file. So let's say you want to change these that salt encryption or salt hashes. So just click on that reload this page, and your key will be changed. So whenever you that reset, so it's generate randomly. So you can just copy and paste into the wp config file. Now next is to restrict the access of the admin area. Now you can restrict via that .htaccess file, or you can restrict via that multiple plugins available in WordPress. So you can change the actual path so no one can identify that wp-admin have particular that login panel. So you can use plugin, or you can restrict via .htaccess file by given this code. Now next one is to disabling that file editing. So we have to, like, by default that WordPress allows administrator to edit theme and plugins file directly from the dashboard. So this can be security risk. As you say, we just replaced that pentest monkey, that reverse shell in that 404 page. So we have to disable this feature. We have to add the following line in wp config file. So this file, this line, the define disallowed file edit true. So basically this prevents malicious code from being injected through this editor. The next one is the disabling xml rpc. So like XML RPC is that like a protocol which allows remote access to WordPress. If you don't use that remote publishing, disabling it by adding that this code, and this will reduce the attack surface of eliminating a commonly exploited entry points. So as you see that in penetration testing video as well, like we can just brute force, or we can get that remotely access. So if your that XML RPC will be disabled, then you will be adding a extra layer of security in on your site. The next one is that limiting login attempts. So limiting login attempts is very that crucial for preventing brute force attacks. So use a plugin like limit login attempts reloaded to set a maximum number of login attempts. So before logging on out that user temporary, and this discourage attacker from trying multiple passwords combination. So you can set, let's say, 4 times or 5 times. Like if attacker try that more than 5 times, so it will temporary block, let's say, for like 5 minutes, and again he tried, then it will block, like say that 5 hours, then it will increase by that 5 days something. So you can choose this type of settings in, there are different plugins. The next one is to implementing two-factor authentication. So two-factor authentication is required to user to provide a second from that the verification. So this type of code sent to their phone and in addition to their password. So use plugin like that Google Authenticator or Auth to set up that particular 2FA to your WordPress site, which is significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access. So in case your password will be leaked, so with the help of, like, if the two-factor enabled on your websites, no one can log in to your as an admin panel. Now securing the database. So first of all, change the database table prefix. So use a unique prefix instead of the default wp underscores. You can set this during installation or change it manually in the wp-config.php file and the database. Second one is use strong database password. So ensure your database user has a strong and unique password. The third one is to limit database user privileges. That's mean only grant necessary permission to your WordPress database users. So these measures make it harder for attack to exploit database vulnerabilities. The next one is that regular backup. So regular backup, your WordPress site will ensure like you can restore in case of data loss or security breach, and use plugin like that update plus or backup buddy to schedule automatic backup. Store backups in secure offsite location. So this, like, by implementing these hardening techniques, you can significantly enhance the security of your WordPress site. Regularly review and update your security measures to adapt to new threats. So these are that simple points which you have to follow, and time to time you have to check that particular vulnerability, and is there any no deprecated version, there's strong password policy, lockout policy. So you have to check to time, and you have to update on periodically basis.